It's really windy up here this morning. We finally made it to our first stop of the morning, and we're at Dante's View. And this is a beautiful, beautiful scenic location. And for Star Wars nerds, it's especially great because this is the spot where Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi were looking over the canyon to see Mos Eisley's spaceport. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious, but this is the view from up here. There it is, Dante's View, or Mos Eisley's spaceport.
Mos Eisley Spaceport. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
What a great view. Up here, it's cold. It's cold. Hands are numb, but how could you not want to walk out here to that view? Look at that. This is our second stop of the journey today, and probably this has got to be one of my favorite places, even compared to the Golden Canyon with the Jawas. There's so much history in this place here where they filmed Return of the Jedi, and it's the scene where the droids are going to Jabba's lair. And this area here, there's just so much from the movie that's left over to look at. I've got a picture here. You can see they're filming the droids. And this scene would have taken place right up here. If you see this picture here, off to the side, you can see this bald spot here in the land. This whole thing right here, this whole spot is in all the pictures. It's really like a defining characteristic, this little patch. Defining characteristic of the spot. So according to that picture, that rigging would have been placed probably right in this little area here, and the droids would walk right along here. And what really makes this so much fun, and I talked about this in my last video, were these two rocks that are in each shot. You can see this rock right there, and then over on the hill over here, you can see that little rock. I can't point to it, but that little rock right over there. These rocks, both of these were in the shot. So what they did is they filmed this scene, as we talked about before. You know, Jabba's lair was superimposed, and it would have been right in this ridge over here. And the droids walked this way for a little bit, and then they turned them around, and they walked going back this way, and you would have gotten this shot. Then there was a sky shot, which kind of would have been taken probably up over on top of that hill, which looks down on the droids as they're, I believe that was the opening shot, is on the droids looking down as they're walking towards Jabba's place. And then the close-ups of them are filmed right along here with those two rocks in the same spot. This is such a beautiful place. This is such a beautiful view. And also my favorite is just that ridge line of mountains in the picture. That's just, there's no two mountains in this area that look like that, and it sticks out. So from what we can surmise, the road here is washed away, not like it used to be. But this is the spot. This is where they filmed R2-D2 and C-3PO on their way to Jabba's lair. And what a beautiful day. I can't believe we made it back here again. and not much has changed. Here's a shot from behind the scenes, and that was pretty much right about here. You can see that mountain in the background, this little brown, where the Hertz truck is. That would be this hill right here. You can see this road's been washed out, but yeah, this is where the crew set up for some of these shots in the same area. This is just that shot redone. Ending our time here at the 12 Mule Canyon. What a great place. I just love being here and seeing some of the things that are left over from when they filmed Return of the Jedi here. Not much has changed. It hasn't changed from the year since we were here before. Like I said, this is still one of my favorite places just because of everything that still stays the same. So we're off to our next stop. Not sure which one we're going to yet, but we'll be leaving Mule Canyon and headed out to the next stop. Only got a few more hours left before we gotta catch the red eye back to home. But there it is, last look before we head out. This is the parking lot in the Artist Drive. This would be my favorite place in Death Valley on our Star Wars voyage, and I'll show you why. Because, well, not only is the view beautiful. I mean, if you look behind me, that's a spectacular mountain range, and it's beautiful. But just a few short steps up this hill here is what it's all about. Every Star Wars geek knows, we know what that's about. R2-D2, C-3PO, they get separated. The first time we see R2-D2 by himself, it's right there. It's coming right up that canyon. They filmed it right up here, and then they go down, and the shots from behind are all here, because off over to here, that man is down there. All those mountains line up in that rear view shot of R2 going away from us. So here we are, Artist Palette. Probably one of the most iconic shots in Star Wars. R2 takes off and just starts to be stalked by all the Jawas. He's just starting to enter into Jawa Canyon, which is really up the road a little ways, but this is where he starts off. Right down there. Man. This is walking down into the Artist Palette Canyon. And this is the canyon that, from up top there, this is where we saw R2 for the first time. And we'll go over to the spot, the exact spot where he was in the movie. If I turn around, this was the shot you would see as R2 was going away from us. Might have been a little further back, but for sure, these mountains right here, that one there, and these little guys here, they're all in that picture. They're all in that shot. So they did a lot of filming in this canyon. There's another shot. The next sequence is we're looking down onto R2 as he's kind of walking by, rolling by. I think that was taken around the corner. We're gonna go around the corner in a second and we'll check that out. And then the next spot right here in this whole area is the sandcrawler scene. Once the Jawas captured R2, they carried him on, they put him on the sandcrawler. So we'll go over and visit where that scene was taken They actually just basically filmed the hill and the Jawas walking up with the R2 and then superimposed the sandcrawler up on there. But here we are for the last time, or for this final time, in the, we'll call it the R2-D2 Canyon. I'm not really sure about this, but in one of these scenes, when R2's rolling through and the Jawas are looking for him, there's a shot where he passes down below. And it makes sense to me that this is the ridge. They may have filmed that because it doesn't look like, it's not as even as it is in the movie here. But there was a road. You can see this road that came through. And that would have made sense for him since he did all the other shots through here. That maybe they just did one of the little shots of him creeping by. So I'm calling this shot found here. So this ridge where we were a second ago is where the shot of R2 coming into the canyon. But if we walk up this hill, as you see, and we come up over here, this is the shot that they used for the sandcrawler and the Jawas. And basically, from what we're looking at here, the camera angle looks like it came down about like here and then superimposed the sandcrawler right in this area here. But if you look in the background, these mountains right here all match in the picture, and so does that stuff over here. This is where the Jawas were. So we're just wrapping up here at the Artist Palette again. This is where the Jawas took R2 and put him in the sandcrawler, and right over here and behind me is where we first see R2 coming into the canyon here. What a great place this Artist Palette is. So beautiful, and God, just it's so great to be here again and seeing these spots and just being here. So we're going on to the next place. I'm standing in the opening of the Golden Canyon, and right off the bat we get a filming location right behind me. This is one of the scenes when the Sand People are barking after they attack Luke. They do two shots of just some rock formation. This is one of the rock formations here, and then there's another one a little further inside the trail as we move along. But this is where they did all of the filming for the R2-D2 Jawa scenes, where you see all the Jawas creeping and peeping on R2, stalking him as he comes through the canyon. So he starts off over in the Artist Palette, but he ends up right here in this canyon. So this is what it looks like as we come into the canyon here. Now, they didn't do much filming in this area, but just around the corner, and as we go up a step or two, we're going to see where they did most of the filming. But look at this little cave. Isn't that kind of cool? Just the formations in here are just incredible. So as we come up over that mound there, we're basically standing in the spot right now where R2 would have stood as he's walking along here. Because as we come over to this rock formation, this is the spot where they did all the filming. Would have been right in this gulch right here. This little slide right there is where the rocks would have come down, signaling that there's a Jawa up there. This little area here is where the Jawa would have peeked out of the corner and then ran away. I turn around and I get this shot. This is a shot where the Jawa comes up and he peeks over and he sees R2 coming. Next cool thing about this whole location is if we walk up a couple yards, not too much, just basically here. Turn around. We all know what shot that is. This is where R2 comes rolling across. And it's always easy to find by the little, looks like a little face right here. The Easter Island face. But R2 would come rolling across there. The Jawa Canyon. Golden Canyon, where we're at. Another beautiful place, another great Star Wars location that has lots of history and has lots of stuff left over, still left behind that we can see. I mean, can you not get enough of that shot? That's just, oh, that's what this is all about. Love that. We're gonna we're gonna walk away from here in a second, and we're heading to one of my favorite rocks, right there. The one where the Jawa was underneath it, which is just a few 100 yards or so from this area. So everything the filmmakers did was right here in this area. I find it very interesting as we go through these locations to see that these guys didn't really go very far to do some of this shooting. I mean, just in this spot here, you could say there was like 6 different shots. 1, 2, 3, and the R2 coming up. So they, they got a lot out of a little bit. And this is one of those locations that, wow, you're here, you just feel it. You just know. So I'm continuing to make my way down the canyon floor here as I approach what I think, in my mind, is probably, I think this has got to be my favorite rock of all the rocks that we've seen here. I mean, the one with the sand people, where the Bantas were over there at Desolation Canyon. That's a special rock too. From just remember seeing it in the pictures and trading cards. But this rock here, this is the home of the Jawa, and he's peeking out from underneath. I mean, this is the rock. I mean, the posters, pictures with this. You can see that it slipped and it fell. There's not as much room underneath for the Jawa's eyes. But gosh, to see this rock, to see this place, this is what, one of the first things you see in that movie, in the beginning of the movie. The droids are on the run and they come and they're captured by the Jawas, and what's going to happen to them next? But this is the canyon. This is where they were, and it's great to see that here. Come a long way, and I saw it last year when we were here, and it still has the same effect this year. It's really just too cool for words. I mean, it's just, you just pick it out. You just know what it's from. This whole canyon is just feels like a special place. I mean, there's really nobody here. I've seen a few hikers coming through, but not really that much. It's beautiful. It's quiet. It's got Star Wars stuff. How could you ask for anything better? There it is. That's the Jawa rock. The Jawa home. I guess the thing to do, since we're this close to it, is really kind of give it the once over. You can see it's fallen. It was up a little higher back in the day. But how neat is this? You can look and see what was inside. Look at that. Plenty of room for a family of Jawas, wouldn't you say? You can see it just split there, and that's it. It's inside. Well, this is inside the Jawa house. There it is. So as we say goodbye to the rock, our Jawa rock, we're going to say goodbye to Golden Canyon. What a great place. This place brings a smile on my face when I think about coming here and doing the Star Wars tour. I like all these canyons. I like all these places. But So it just seems like the most special, because there's so much here too. And again, the history of the things that are still left behind, the rocks, the shapes you can still pick out. It's every Star Wars geek's dream. So I'm just, at this moment, I'm very thankful that I got the opportunity to come out here and do this again. This was, it's been a marathon. I'm getting tired. I've only slept 4 hours in the last day and a half. But it's been worth it. It's worth it. This is so cool to be here in Death Valley, where my all-time favorite movie was filmed. There it is. All these things. That's great. I'm just gonna say goodbye to this spot too. This is one of the Jawa stalker areas. The spot where R2 comes in. We're leaving the canyon. We're headed to, I think we're gonna head out to the sand dunes next, and then back to Vegas, back to the airport, and our home to Detroit. So the trip is coming to an end. A beautiful little side trip we had, and it was worth every minute, every penny. And I would do it again tomorrow if I had time. We made it over here to the Mesquite Sand Dunes, and this is the filming location where, as soon as R2 and C-3PO separate, R2 goes on his own and he takes off down the desert, and he sees this mountain range in the background. That's the same mountain range from the picture. Of course, there it is. This is where R2 took off. There's plants have grown up in the area. We don't know exactly where that would have been, but it was in between that peak and those two dark brown mountains there. That's where the shot was taken, somewhere here. The last of the Star Wars filming locations in Death Valley. What a great day we had. But just check out this view one more time. There it is. That's Mesquite Sand Dunes. And that's the mountain range from the movie.